Hey everyone, SkornClaw here. I'm going to show you the settings that I use on Streets so that I'm actually capable of playing the game instead of being unable to load it and struggling away. So the settings that I use to make sure that Streets run on my very old 10-year-old computer are as follows. I have the texture quality set to low. This is to make sure that all of the panes of glass from all of the many buildings don't load with their reflective quality, which really reduces the game's ability to load. The next thing is to make sure that your shadows are at low, because shadows actually do take quite a bit of power. After that, you have to make sure that your game visibility is set as low as possible, so you don't have to load as much of the map when you're in there. If you have VSync turned off, it will give you the advantage of capping your game FPS limit. If you cap your game FPS limit to 60 while you're on Streets, if your computer's not trying to achieve some mythical top end, it will use all of that extra power to try to maintain an actual solid, steady running FPS for you, which makes the game much more playable. I recommend only having high quality color turned on and all of the other checkboxes turned off, as well as having all of your things set to off or low and max performance to try to get Streets to run as best as possible. And you will see going on in the video that I do manage to get quite a decent FPS. I maintain about a 35 FPS throughout all of Streets, and it will dip down to about 20 at points, but it is playable. And considering I am on a 10-year-old computer, I think that's pretty good. And at the end of the video, I will be showing you the statistics on my computer or my setup. So I hope you enjoy the video and keep watching to see how it actually performs. And now we're going to have to wait the million years that Tarkov regularly takes to load its matches. FPS doesn't matter right now because it's a loading screen, but you'll see that I maintain at least enough FPS to run the game. Doesn't look great, but the game does run on Streets. So as you can see, I'm maintaining about 30 FPS here. Just loot around a touch. I think I have my post FX turned on. I'll turn those off soon. Oh look, apparently I lose FPS in the menu. It's neat. I am not familiar with Streets. See, 35 to 40 FPS throughout Streets. I'm probably going to get capped here in a moment because I have no idea where the hell I am. It doesn't look familiar to me, and I don't run this map a lot because it used to not perform well until this wipe. Actually, the performance increasing stuff that they did, and in addition to these settings, have actually made this map a little more enjoyable. Oh, this is familiar. Left, so step ahead to do a pathing if taxi's open. No, I don't. Even if taxi's here, I can't take it. I have no idea where that Playmore field is, so probably not a good idea to go over. See, the FPS will drop down to around 20 as you get into the more open areas where it has to process more. So, going to my system information here, as you can see, I'm still on Microsoft Windows 10. Got 32 gigs of RAM, but it is DDR3. I'm not sure if we can pull that up here. As you can see, I'm on a very old computer, i7 4820K CPU, 3.7 gigahertz. It's got 4 cores, 8 logical processors, so it was a good processor in its day. But I mean, as you can see, it's a 2013 computer and we're 2023, so this puppy is 10 years old. I do have a 1080 Ti installed here. I'm not sure if that'll show on this, I don't think so. You can see my computer is not exactly top tier, and I do have 32 gig paging file, which you can find from my paging file video, which gives me, you know, approximately total virtual memory of about that much. So yeah, with that and my DDR3 RAM, I am capable of running Streets at, as you saw, a solid 35 FPS, breaching to 40 and sometimes dropping down to about 25. And those are with the settings that you'll see here, where I have the texture quality at low because the panes of glass eat up the information here in Tarkov. Shadow quality is set to low. My LOD quality, I generally set mine to 2.5. People will have this set to whatever they want. Your overall visibility range, this is another important one to have set down as minimum as possible to 400. When you have VSync turned off, it gives you the ability to set a game FPS limit, and I highly recommend a game FPS limit of 60 here. And the lobby FPS limit doesn't matter. I mean, maybe it affects your loading time. I'm not actually sure. You're not really looking at a ton in your lobby, so you don't need a ton of FPS. And again, sharpness is up to you. Most of these settings for Streets, I tend to keep at off, low, max performance. You generally get the idea, to try to make Streets run as fast as possible. And the only check mark at the bottom that I have checked off is for the high quality color, and the rest of them are disabled. And these are the settings that I use to allow my dinosaur of a computer to run Streets. So if you're having a problem running Streets, I definitely recommend trying the same. And if it works for you, like, comment, and subscribe. SkornClaw, over and out.